Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm preparing my favorite go-to homemade tomato sauce with just 5 ingredients. That's right, 5 ingredients. We have some San Marzano tomatoes. This is a 28-ounce can of organic San Marzano tomatoes. They are prepared with basil. So if we were making this sauce with fresh tomatoes, we would add the basil and that would give us 6 ingredients. But since we're using the can today, we have just 5 ingredients. We also have an organic red onion. Usually I would use a medium-sized onion, but today all I have is a small one, and that's what I'm going to use and make it work. We have some olive oil, organic black pepper, and sea salt. These guys are the star of the show. I hope that you'll enjoy watching me prepare this sauce and maybe even try it at home. And if you do, please leave a message in the comments and let me know how it goes for you. Let's get started. Hello, hello, hello again. So I've added my onions to the pan and they are sauteing. I usually like to saute them till they're a little bit darker than golden. I don't want them to be brown, but I do want to start to develop some of the natural sugar in these onions, and that's what's going to help to sweeten our sauce. So this has been added to the pot maybe about 2 minutes ago, and as you can see, they're just starting to become translucent. So I'll saute them for another 5 or 6 minutes, and right around when they're golden brown or a little bit darker, I'll add the tomatoes. I'm about to chop the tomatoes into large chunks and have them ready for when the onions have been caramelized. So the tomatoes will be caramelized as well. I like to let the tomatoes develop their natural sugar as well. So when I add the tomatoes, I'll probably saute them for maybe about 20 to 30 minutes. I'll let you know how long I keep them in the pot for. Um, but I'll see you in a minute. We're back. So I have cut up my tomatoes into semi-small, medium-sized chunks. And there they go. And the rest are in the bowl. We're waiting for our onions to finish sauteing, and then we'll add these tomatoes to the pot. Now I like to have the tomatoes added right when the onions are caramelized, and most of our work will be done at that point. The tomatoes and onions will saute for maybe 20 to 30 minutes, and that's it. So I added about 3 tablespoons of olive oil to the pot before I add the onions, and I'll probably add some more right near the end before I put my pasta in the sauce, which is a separate meal. But just a little hint for you. I like to also season my vegetables as I go along. So the onions, I salted them just a little bit, maybe two or three pinches of salt, maybe a quarter teaspoon or less of salt. I added to the onions while they are sauteing, and I'll add a little more salt to the tomatoes when I add them to the pot. I like to season as I go so that all the vegetables are well seasoned and there isn't a ton of salt being added at the end. So I'll see you in a minute when we add the tomatoes to the onions. Okay, so our onions are right about at that point where I like them to be. They are starting to get a little more than golden. Some of them are still red, but I don't want them to be too dark because they'll start to get a little bitter at that point. So right now the sweetness is perfect. We're about to add the tomatoes.